yesterday
yeah.
you sold something on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, I sold someone on Facebook Marketplace, just something random, and he was just kind of staring at me, and then he messaged me afterwards to be like, "Wait, you're a Divot dude?"
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Scratch Golf Show. If you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Marco. Today we have two awesome YouTube golf guests lined up for you today. We have Adam and Connor of the Divot Dudes. Now, you may have seen them at your local driving range or local golf simulator location, challenging people to a call your carry or other fun challenges, winning really cool prizes. We have a great conversation. We dive into the recent success over the last year, how they've just recently hit 100,000 subscribers, and they tease some future content, so you're going to want to stick around to the end. Like the video, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 2,500 subscribers before Memorial Day. Now, let's get an interview with Adam and Connor. And of course, leave a comment. In the zone here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have another awesome guest, actually two awesome guests, because we have two guys. I am a big fan of their content. We have the Divot Dudes. Fellows, welcome to the Scratch Golf Show. Appreciate you taking time today.
Thanks, Margo. Thanks for
Thanks,
having
bro.
us.
Absolutely. I guess we were just talking a bit offline. You guys are in Nashville. I did my bachelor party in Nashville last year, so I was curious.
Okay.
You ever played Gaylord Springs out there? Is that near
Absolutely,
you? You guys like that golf course?
It's not, dude. The greens on that course are hard. Have you played out
I've
there?
never played. I just moved to Nashville in November, so I'm still new to the
Okay.
area. But Connor's been here for about 6 years now.
Yeah.
So he's played almost every course, I would say, around here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Dude, that course is awesome. I did. Like I said, I did it. I got married last almost a year ago. I did my bachelor party like last April in Nashville, and I love it.
Let's
It's
go.
like I said, I want to get down there and play some more golf and potentially link up with you guys if we're able to ever
Come
able
on,
to link up in person. Adam, I know you're a golden retriever guy based on
I
my
am,
research on your
man.
Instagram. I have a 4-year-old golden named Bogey, so I really am a golf sicko, and I'm a dog nut, but I love goldens. They have a very near and dear
I'm the
special
same
place in
way.
my heart. So
Our golden retriever, my golden retriever, me and my wife's golden retriever is actually just laying on the floor right here.
nice.
His name's Denver. Yeah,
Denver, yeah, that's what I
they're
thought.
the best. They're the best.
Anyway, we could talk dogs all day, man, but we're here to talk about golf. So I guess to start, obviously, I'm very familiar with your guys' content and what you guys are doing on social media. But for the people who maybe don't know, do you mind introducing yourself, who you are, how you got into golf and content, and then we'll see where the conversation takes us from there.
Yeah, dude, send it.
Let's do it. You want to lower your mic a little bit?
Oh yeah, am I blocking my face?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So we're the Divot Dudes. I'm Adam McLean. This is Connor Sibley. We've known each other since the 7th grade, actually. So we are long lost besties. Known each other since middle school. Actually went to rival colleges. He went to Auburn. I went to Alabama. He played football there. So we hated each other for about 4 years. Didn't talk at all. And then we reconvened after college, actually in the middle of COVID. And that's kind of when our Divot Dudes was formed. We were sitting out we both picked up golf, I would say, after college and when COVID happened. And we were like, shoot, let's just film ourselves. We're going to regret this if we don't give it a try. We've always wanted to figure out a business where we work together and, be our own bosses. It's been the dream forever. And 2020 hit, we played some golf. 2022 came. We were sitting in a hot tub in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. And we're like, shoot,
yeah,
let's just give this a try and see what happens. But a lot of people don't know us from the early days. We actually started as a podcast.
Yeah.
So for the first,
let's go.
6 months?
Represent.
Yeah, at least. I mean, yeah, probably at least 6 months. I mean, we had posted like a couple different golf type videos on YouTube, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was all podcast stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like more behind the scenes. I think one of our first videos that did really well is when we did behind the scenes of Good Goods Warehouse, something like that.
Yeah, that one did good. I remember like the very first video. We were down in Florida hanging out. We had started posting a couple videos that we'd filmed on our phone out on the golf course, which if you go back and watch those now, it's hilarious. You're like, oh my gosh, what are these guys doing? And then something happened where it was Luke Kwan had his head injury. Yep. And me and Adam had talked about, should we start a podcast now or should we wait a while till we grow some? And then that happened. We're like, why don't we just start one? And at the same time, Bryson DeChambeau, I remember he got clotheslined by that rope, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So that's the era of when everything started for us. But Bryson got clotheslined by a rope. I remember Micah had left good, and then Luke Kwan had almost died. So it was all those things kind of happened in the YouTube and then the golf world, and we were like, what if we just start a podcast and talk about everything going on? And so we posted that, and I think it got 50,000 views within a week.
Yeah, that was our first really realization of, shoot, this YouTube stuff is something we could do. And we got our first AdSense check, or we could do this full time. Like, but
Yeah.
our motive switched though. Is like, we love golf. We want to play golf. So how can we go out there and actually play golf and be a little bit different?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're, as everybody knows, you know as well, Marcos, we're not the best golfers, but
What?
we try to find a niche that was, testing other people's handicaps or how far you hit the driver, and we can get into stuff how those videos started. But we wanted to have our own little niche and get on the golf course and not just be a podcast as well. So that's when it started on the golf course, and we started doing some crazy challenges. We first tried doing like 1v1s,
Yeah.
and we were getting like 300 views. So we're like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So what can we do to differentiate ourselves? And
Yeah.
that's when
Yeah.
the challenges happened.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I was doing the research on your channel. I did see that. Like, I was going back to like your initial videos, and I saw that like Grant Horvat, Micah, whatever, like ripped like the Luke Quan thing got like 55,000 views. Like your
Yeah,
third video,
dude.
I was like, that's pretty sweet, man. And
Yeah, that
like,
was that first dopamine hit for us to be like, oh shoot, like this is cool.
dude, I
Yeah.
remember, dude, for me, it's been a grind. I had 847 subscribers 40 days ago, and I'm at
Let's go.
2,200. I had Brad Dalkey. Brad
Nice.
came on
dude.
in that interview, he did like 45,000 views. I had videos do like, I had George Bryan on that did like 10K, but like you said, you see that, like I got monetized off that. And then I had another video talking about the Wesley Bryan situation that happened a few weeks ago, hit 50,000. I was like, that dopamine hits, and it's different, man. When you
Yeah.
start seeing those numbers hit, you get monetized, and you're like, okay, I can actually, I can do something. I'm not full time, not like you guys, but like you said, the realization's there that the future is not like crazy. It took my wife a while to realize like, oh, like there is some potential here to doing this YouTube stuff. So it's been very cool. And like I said, congratulations on all the success you've had. One question I've had is, you guys, like you said, started as a podcast, but how did you come up with the name Divot Dudes? Like, what did you have like difficulty naming? Because with how many people, like you said, COVID really, I feel like exploded with golf, YouTube golf. We've seen it
Mhm.
grow and grow and grow over the last 5 years. Did you find difficulty with the name? And I guess where did it come from?
Yeah,
Like I said, the Divot Dudes.
that's a great question. It was actually, we were just reminiscing when we hit 100,000 subscribers. We were like, man, how did we stumble upon this name? Um, we both were just coming up with different ideas. It was when I went back into our text message and we were looking at all the different names. There's like the Bogey Bandits or like the Sand Bro. Like we had all different types of
Yeah, we
things.
were just firing off. It was
Yeah.
like a brainstorm session in our text. And that's one thing I'll say from the jump, and even now, like it's always been just like the fun flow of things with us. We've been, like you said, we've been best friends since 7th grade. We've done a lot of like fun stuff together. And this in and of itself is like, I think both of us, why we're so shocked it's happening, is because we're like, dude, this is a job. Like we're
Yeah.
having fun. Whereas that we were just like having fun, throwing different names out there, like funny ideas. Some of them that you would look at and laugh because it would be like, no way. And then Adam sent that text that was like Divot Dudes. And then I think I responded, I was like, wait, Divot Dudes. And he was like, Divot Dudes. And I was like, Divot Dudes.
Yeah.
That's it.
The original name was actually Adam Connor Golf, AC Golf.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
Okay.
kind of our thing. And then they're like, let's try to find something a little bit more catchy, because
Uh-huh.
we don't want to base it just off our first name. So we found out Divot Dudes, and we created a logo, and we've hit the ground running 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you guys, like I said, we're just talking a little bit. You're at 20,000 subscribers about a year ago, just crossed that 100,000 threshold. I'm
Yeah.
sure when that silver plaque hits, it's going to hit like crack for you guys, because I
Yeah.
want to get there at some point. But congratulations. Within the last year, you filmed some very, very cool videos with some very, very big time creators, Grant Horvat, DOD King, just to name a few. I guess talk me through how cool that's been doing some collabs like with a Grant Horvat. And some of the biggest creators in the space as you guys have grown your channel and got into that playing side and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest thing with that is just like everybody's real people. So like all these people that you were watching their videos of that you see is kind of like, the head of the YouTube golf world, which they are, but then just to kind of like go play around with them and start becoming friends with people, it kind of just puts everything in perspective, of like, oh wow, these are real awesome people that we just play golf with. And the coolest thing is just like that being, our job is to hang out with friends,
Yeah.
make fun videos, come up with cool ideas. But all of it has been so surreal, especially to go from, watching those guys' videos to now, doing stuff, with them and hanging out. But yeah, I mean, it's surreal.
Yeah, I think it's just been a blessing. I
Yeah.
think something we're both, believers and really strong in our faith. And I think that's something that we wanted to start this channel was, kind of more of a foundation. And we've had some real blessings and some open doors.
Yeah.
We've also had a lot of struggles doing this as well, but kind of seeing the fruits of our label has really been surreal about it. And so playing with some of the bigger guys that kind of opened the door in the YouTube space. And we're grateful that some of those guys let us in and
Yeah.
to do podcasts or to play matches with them when we were so small. So it shows you how big this YouTube golf community is and just how gracious everybody is to let someone open the
Hmm.
door for you.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. I can speak firsthand to that because I feel like everyone I've met in the space, I've been doing this for about a year. I started last April Masters Week, so just over a year. I've had a lot of the bigger creators on, not like the Grant levels, but I mean, I have Brian Bros, good. Like everyone is so nice in the space, willing to give back. Like, I've had,
Hmm.
like I said, you just any of the good guys could charge me, or the Busted Jack guys, whatever, could charge you whatever for an appearance fees. Not only do they come on for free, they're reposting my stuff to their channels, like, hey, check this guy. Like, it really just shows you that people are willing to give back, and like you said, people are very real but also very nice and willing to do stuff
Yeah.
with people. If they, if you're out there grinding, I think people really realize that, and can comprehend and
Hmm.
understand, like, hey, I was there once, and no one really is like big time in people. And like, no matter where you get in the space, which I found has been super cool, just doing my own thing, like I said, here on YouTube. But good to hear that you guys have had the same experience, because most of our guests have said the same thing about collaborating. Like, it's just super
Yeah.
cool. And like you said, this is my job, that I get to play golf with all these cool people at cool golf courses. It sounds like a pretty nice life for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
If
So,
you had told either one of us 4 years ago that we would be getting paid to,
right.
three putt with a putter, like
Yeah.
my mind's blown. Like it's been a blessing, and thankful to do it with someone that's one of my best friends, and we have families as well. So
Yeah.
it's been a really cool journey and a ride so far.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's been a lot of fun.
How long have you guys been full time from Divot Dudes? Has it been since the very beginning, or did you guys kind of start and then leave your kind of day to day job to go full time?
It's kind of a loaded question. I mean, because Adam said, he just moved here.
Yeah.
Time wise, it's been a grind. Like if you look at the hours of it, it's been full time for both of us for longer than it was when we started paying
Yeah.
ourselves. And before we had hired editors, I was doing a lot of the editing, and then me and Adam were just like taking any bit of money we made and like going on trips. So he's like asking off of work to go on these trips and stuff.
Right.
So the full time is kind of a loaded question, and we probably have both.
We've we've worked on it full time
Yeah,
for 2.5 years, but for us to both quit our jobs, or Connor sold his company, since end of 2024 is kind of when it
Yeah.
all came together. So his
Okay.
last 5 months has been I moved here in November, and we've kind of really hit the ground running probably since last November.
yeah, that was the
That's
first time
awesome.
we ever moved money from the business account to our personal accounts.
It's like what
How was
what Mr. Beast always says, like, oh, I just reinvest in the
yeah.
videos and I reinvest in the company. It's like I didn't really understand that until we actually started doing it ourselves, and
Hmm.
all the money we made for the first, honestly, year and a half just went right back into Divot Dudes, just
Hmm.
like to fund the trips and to fund having guests
Equipment.
in or whatever it is, yeah,
Yeah,
camera gear and everything. So this past year is kind of when it really the dominoes started falling
Yeah,
where we
that's what
could.
everyone has said. Like, it's been a very similar answer to a lot of people. Not to like the full time aspect, but like reinvesting. Like, I
hmm
haven't made a ton of money from this. I am monetized on YouTube, and working on some partnerships now, and kind of getting my feet wet. But even that, like, I'm looking at doing some stuff like, trying to get to some PGA Tour events, or just like you said,
yeah,
trips to get down somewhere. Just reinvesting. And once you do, like you said, keep grinding, and it is a grind. Like, people don't realize those early days, man. Like, a lot of the reasons why people don't make it is they just stop. Like, they get, like,
yeah,
you got to keep going, and it will happen. Like, I'm living proof of just keep posting, and eventually you will figure out the YouTube stuff, and then, like you
yeah.
said, the dominoes start to fall, and it is a very cool feeling once it is. And I'm sure once that, that first time moving money over from the business to your personal, I bet that felt very, very, whether it was good, satisfying, whatever that feeling was. I'm sure that
hmm
was very, very cool for you guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just like what you're saying. Over time, if your focus is growth and if you enjoy it too,
Yeah.
those things together, if you treat it, like a business and something fun, then you'll keep working on finding different ways to keep it growing. And yeah, absolutely.
So that kind of leads me into my next question is, like I said, you guys have been growing relatively consistently over the last year. Like I said, just hit 100,000 subscribers. How do you approach that, where now that you're growing, how do you keep resetting the bar to keep growing? Like you said, not being satisfied at 100,000, trying to get that 200, 250,000, and like keep resetting the bar, or trying to break in new audiences, break into new demographics. 'Cause that's the thing with YouTube is like, you're always trying to grow and keep like, build that momentum that you had. How are you guys doing that? And how have you approached that over these last few months with the growth that you've experienced for the
Yeah,
channel?
that's a great question. I think both of us being competitors, we're both athletes growing up. We want to be the best, and we want to win. And I think that's kind of the mindset we take into business is we want to grow. But knowing the YouTube space is, and just all the social media, it's an evolving door. So it's figuring out what's working, what's not working to reevaluate. But we have a great team in place. We have an awesome manager. We have a great editor. We have a great strategy team that we all meet together with. I think we all want to be better every single day, and there's
Yeah.
always something that we can improve on. I think it's as us seeing, I mean, not every single video we're going to post is going to be a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out
Yeah.
of 10. And the one that we post today is what, a 7 or 6
It's
out of
up to
10,
6 now. Yeah,
6 out of
yeah,
10.
yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like,
But we think it's a great video, you know?
and
Yeah.
when we found out at the end of the day is like, let's do stuff that makes us happy and like something that we enjoy. So we don't go into burnout. And thankfully for us, we got into golf later. So like we
Yeah.
didn't pick up the sticks when we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So it's still new to us. Like we love golf. We could go out and play every single day. And I think that's a benefit and a blessing is that we're not burnt out of golf. We could go out and probably for the next 10 years play every single day and,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
catch up from where we never started. But it's just always, finding a new niche. And like we try to always grow, find a new area where maybe someone's not in, or take different inspirations from, Jesser or Mr. Beast or Iced Coffee Hour, somewhere where we have inspiration from and kind of put our own little spin and turn on it is something that
Mhm.
we've really grasped a hold of.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And kind of, I mean, truthfully, like we don't spend that much time talking about like we set goals at the beginning of the year of our
Mhm.
subscribers amount, but we're not sitting there like, subscribers, subscribers, subscribers. We're really just focusing on what's the best video, what's the best
Yeah.
idea, what's the best title, thumbnail, and the growth is kind of a byproduct of making
Yeah.
a good
Our,
product. We feel like,
we focus on what can we do to make the best video possible
yeah,
and entertain, then the rest will just come naturally. I think that's
yeah,
what we kind of put a lot of our focus and thoughts on is at the end of the day, we enjoy, we're YouTube consumers by ourselves, not just creators. So like
yeah,
what can we do that we enjoy watching and we want to make someone else enjoy watching our stuff too. So that's kind of been the main focus is let's just make the best video possible. Then partners will come, brand deals will come, and as long as we're happy and we're enjoying what we're making, I think that's kind of been the ground root of it all.
mm-hmm,
Heck yeah. Well, I've got a couple follow ups because there are actually a couple questions I had on my sheet,
Yeah,
ironically enough. So I want to get into your ideation process and stuff like that.
yeah.
But my question I want to have because you brought it up was you guys are YouTube golf or YouTube consumers or consumers of product. Do you watch a lot of YouTube golf? And like I said, do you, I guess, study people like, like a Grant or whatever, Brian Bros, the people at the top of the space often when you're going through that ideation process? And I guess like I said, how often are you actually consuming, whether it be YouTube, not, it doesn't have to be golf specifically, but just YouTube in general when you're like ideating and creating for the channel?
Yeah, I mean, we probably both have very similar and different processes for when we come up with ideas. Like we're always in a group chat, just texting if an idea
Yeah.
pops up. But then probably you do this too. But I've got notes with random ideas. Some are good, and we'll go back to, or I'll send them in the group, and they're like, "Nah," and I'm like, "All right, not that one." But yeah, we're both consumers of the YouTube world. I don't think like we watch other YouTube golf channels for sure because we do love that. But as far as our content, we'll pick up little things from it, like, maybe, oh, that camera angle's cool, like, oh, what kind of mics are they
yeah.
using? But
I want to stop you right there just because those, like I said earlier, some of those editors and guys in that space have been so open for
oh
us, like
yeah,
Carney
Yeah.
from the Brian Bros, Skylar from Grant's channel. Like they'll answer any of our questions that we have, so we couldn't be more thankful. Like we just asked a question the other day of what certain lavalier mics that they were using, and they told us like it's just a lot of stuff that will. It's the YouTube golf space is just such a
Yeah.
niche guy, it's no spot,
I
and
D I DM Sky way more than I should. He's helped me out a good amount,
yeah.
so I could speak to
So,
yeah,
that.
but we've both consumed YouTube for a long, long time.
oh
Like
yeah,
my early inspiration, we watched Dude Perfect. I just remember in middle
Yeah.
school and high school and
Yep.
stuff like that. So we've always loved YouTube. I don't think we watch as much YouTube golf as people would think, just because we're always playing golf and making golf content. So it's kind of nice to have a break and enjoy. We both love sports. He went to Auburn. I went to Alabama. I watch more Alabama sporting events than I watch in YouTube. So Yeah, I think it's a healthy nature. I think we also treat it as a business of you always take inspiration of what's working and what's not working, and figure out how we can make our own
Yeah.
twist on it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, to that inspiration piece, like, yeah, we obviously will see Grant's videos. We watch a good amount of those, but as far as like our inspiration, I think Grant is really good at doing what he does with his content. He's a really good golfer. He can make like these him and Sky do like these beautiful,
Cinematic,
18-hole
yeah.
videos. And people are probably watching 80% of those videos, and it's insane. But for like our content style, like we said, us being average golfers, like we're trying to really tap into the creative, almost even like traditional YouTube side of things of
Uh-oh.
like, how can we be different? Um, you
My
know,
golden retriever is trying to make an
yeah, the
appearance. I'll
dog's
call
That's
him
climbing
okay.
in
in
one
here.
Yeah,
second.
you can
Hold on.
intro. Denver, come
Um,
on in. Welcome to the Scratch Golf Show. We appreciate it. We love golden retrievers here. Hi, buddy. Oh
yeah,
my
let's
god,
go.
dude. I like literally. I was just in North Carolina last week. I chased down a like golden in the street. Like I was like, I gotta go pet that
Really?
Oh
dog. So,
wow,
dude, I I love golden
Yeah,
retrievers. So,
that's awesome.
they're the best. But yeah, I think no one. I think we've always put it to the our thought is no one should watch two hacks play golf for an hour. So what can we
How do
what
we make it
how do
interesting?
we make
Yeah.
it entertaining? I
yeah,
think that's something whether it's challenging people's handicaps or doing fun challenges. So yeah, I think we had to find our own niche to be more entertaining than we are good. So there's not a lot of just average golfers out there that have a YouTube channel outside of Bob Does Sports probably, and they do a lot of fun challenges. And so we just try to make our own spin on it. Of we're two
Hmm.
average golfers, but how can we be the most entertaining golfers we can be, or do some unique
Hmm.
videos? That's kind of how we get inspiration from it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you guys do some really, really cool content. That's what we'll get into now is kind of the type of content you guys do, which obviously you do some playing content, but a lot of what, and I think, what at least where I saw you from is like you said, the challenging people where you go up to the people in the driving range or where I know you guys have done some stuff where you're calling out pros now or like going up and doing office employees and like calling them out saying, how far do you drive it or whatever, like, the different style challenges, which I think is super cool. So my question is, you guys do a lot of long form and short form content, across YouTube and your other socials. How do you balance that where you're trying to post like a long form versus short form? And I guess, do you guys have a good understanding of the algorithm and posting stuff like that? But I guess my main question is, how do you balance versus, long form and short form content when you're making it for your channel?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really good team, like we treat this like we said like our job, so we're waking up and every day and thinking, all right, how do we do this, and we do have a great manager. Josh is awesome, helps us out a lot with our schedule and kind of plan all that out. We've got great editors. Ben has been editing us. When did he start? Midsummer last year,
Yeah, it's been like
almost a full year.
8 9 months now.
Yeah, and he started just kind of doing some contract work, and now is coming on full time with us. But um, and now we've got another part time editor. So it's like really just like you said a minute ago with the investing back in the business. It's like, okay, cool. If this money comes in, how do we find a way to make our product better, more entertaining, more fun, and the frequency, kind of like you're
Yeah, I
saying.
think for the long form, short form, our main focus is YouTube. As like we
Hmm.
always said
Yeah.
earlier, is like we use TikTok or Instagram, mostly TikTok as a marketing platform, so they can watch the videos and go to our YouTube page because the majority of our TikToks are just cut downs from our YouTube video.
Hmm.
So that's something that's been a lot of our priorities. Like we want to make really good long form YouTube videos just because we can. At the end of the day, that's where a lot of the brands are and pushing long form content and just so TikTok and Instagram has kind of just been more of cut downs of our YouTube videos that we post in parts, part one,
Hmm.
part two. But our main focus in 2025 is really expanding into the short form and coming up with new fun challenges and ideas and a little bit, maybe not as much golf stuff, just kind of overall Adam and Connor doing silly things that can be entertaining and
Hmm.
it might not link directly to a YouTube video, but it'll just be more, how can we get more eyes on our page?
Hmm.
So that's kind of where we are right now is we kind of have a grasp on YouTube and a grasp on long form TikToks and Instagram, but we're really trying to focus on honestly just short form, trying to grow those platforms, especially Instagram. We've had the hardest time. It's being like transparent. Our Instagram following has been the lowest out of any following.
Yeah.
Even the last 2 months, we've grown 20,000 just on Instagram. So we're trying out some new ideas. How we get people to actually follow us? They'll watch it. We'll get
Yeah.
10 to 12 million impressions and views on the page, but people aren't following us. So we've been trying some new ideas to try to grow those platforms and build more of a community instead of just getting eyes on our page is people actually want to know who we are and what we do, and not just, oh yeah, we make viral content. So that's kind of been our goal for 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. You kind of developing that entire brand, like, because you can have one big platform, but then if you're not also doing well on the others, then like if say it was a clothing company came in and was like, we want to sponsor you. They only see you doing well on one platform. They're like, okay, are we actually getting like an all around reach if we're working with you? Yeah. So like, just like he was saying, working on getting in those weak spots that we may have had before, up to par, focusing on those. And, but yeah, really just making it happen because we work hard, we focus on it,
Yeah.
we enjoy it, and just doing what we got to do to get the content out.
If you guys if you come up with anything, tell me offline how to get people to follow in your Instagram. I'd very much appreciate that because I struggle
Hey,
with that same type of thing where I get a good, I post more on YouTube. My Instagram is because it almost just as like a marketing tool to get people on my YouTube, but like very much struggle with getting people to follow. So I can
yeah.
Yeah,
completely understand that
it's very
from a
random. It's very
from
random. I think we had
it.
one random video that did really well. It was a cut down of our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, and then we had like 9,000 people follow from one Instagram
It's
reel, which we've
crazy,
never had
it's
ever before. So
Yeah.
it's
crazy.
just the randomness of all the
Yeah.
algorithms. Some things work, some things don't.
Yeah.
From a titling thumbnailing, I know you guys have obviously mentioned you have a team, editor, manager in place. From a titling and thumbnailing perspective, I feel like a lot of people don't know. And learning YouTube, I learned this the hard way that is one of, if not the most important thing, is you got to get people to click on your video in order for them to watch it, right? So, from a packaging
Hmm.
perspective, from a titling, thumbnailing perspective, are you guys still very much heavily involved in that process? Or is that more of like an editor? Because obviously we've seen like Garrett and Ryder does all the titling and thumbnailing, I believe, for Garrett now. So I'm just curious
Hmm.
from that perspective, what does that process look like for you guys?
Yeah, this is our thing,
Yeah.
like the Josh manager and Ben editors and all those guys, like bring them in is more of like, okay, how do we do even more? It's not like cool, we'll bring them in so that we can just chill out all day at the pool.
Yeah.
We do go to the pool, but we're this is our business. We're in here and we're doing YouTube because we love doing YouTube. And just like you said, the title, thumbnail, we enjoy that probably just as much as any of the
Yeah.
rest of it.
And YouTube is, it's a click and watch platform. It's not TikTok where it provides you a video to watch by yourself.
Yeah.
So, we can make great content, but if you don't click on it, it doesn't work. And we've seen that firsthand of our Prize Gauntlet series has some of the best ADV we've ever had and click and just watch time, but people aren't clicking onto the video. So
Yeah.
it's trying to figure out how we can get people to actually click. So yeah, Connor and I, we both come up with our own thumbnails and own titles for every single video. We try to have, like most people do, we try to have those ideas before we actually shoot the video of this is how we see it. This is kind of how we see the thumbnail. We kind of do our own thumbnails a little bit differently.
Hmm.
We more do like a natural approach style thumbnails all the time of us. It's actually a screenshot from the video just to get that other person's natural reaction. And it's usually not what you're technically supposed to do because it's not a clear image, but it's worked great for us. I think that's kind of been our own thing too, is kind of shows that it's going to be one of our thumbnails when it's a
Hmm.
more of a approach style thumbnail than something that's more AI generated. But yeah, Connor and I, we come up with all of the ideas and thumbnails and titles. We'll kind of either sketch it out, send it to our thumbnail guy for him to create it, or kind of like send screenshots of how we want things. And then we have a thumbnail guy that makes all of our thumbnails. But yeah, it's all of our ideation. A lot of it works, a lot of it doesn't work, and it's more of of finding that evolving window of let's plug and play here and changing things out in the title or the
Yeah.
thumbnail in general. So it's all about a hit and miss game, as you know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the thumbnail, like there could be there's a formula that people kind of put out, where Mr. Beast is like, you gotta have your face here and this kind of things where it's like the reality is like it is a click and watch platform, just like Adam said. But what makes one person's audience want to click isn't what's going to make this person's audience want to click. We could tomorrow post the most optimized cooking video thumbnail of all time, but our audience doesn't give a frick about cooking.
Yeah,
So
Right.
it's like, but our audience does like coming to our channel to see those real interactions of us walking up to someone, or just like you said, the natural feel, like you look at this thumbnail and it's actually what's going to happen in the video, not just us standing there trying to hype something up that's not real. So but yeah, every audience is going to respond to things in a different way, so it's like what is most optimized for our audience. That's what we're trying to do.
Heck yeah. Do you guys get recognized a lot more in public now that you're growing? I also always ask that question a lot. And do you want to enjoy it? And like I said, how often are you getting recognized around town, whether you're in Nashville or other places traveling, filming content?
What was it
It's a
happened
good amount.
yesterday?
Yeah.
You sold something on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, I sold someone on Facebook Marketplace, just something random, and he was just kind of staring at me, and then he messaged me afterwards to be like, "Wait, you're a Divot dude?" He's like, "I knew you looked familiar," but yeah, we get recognized a good amount now. We were out at our in our Franklin Fest just with our wives and our dog and his baby, and we get
That was so funny.
we get stopped all the time. He's like, "Wait, that's the Divot dudes, but that's a baby and that's
Yeah,
a dog."
yeah.
And we were like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Yeah, we're just like you said, we're normal people. We just happen to
Yeah.
make some funny YouTube videos."
Yeah.
But anytime we're on a golf course, or we get recognized almost every single time we try to
Yeah,
play.
pretty much always at a golf course. It doesn't always happen out in public, but it does in large crowds. It's like in Franklin, Tennessee, there's going to be some golfers there, you know. And
Yeah.
when you have as many views as we do on TikTok, at least, it's like they might not know us, but they might recognize us if they've seen any golf videos. So yeah, it happens again, good amount.
Yeah, I think
Love it.
it's I never thought, like we said earlier, if you had asked us 4 years ago, and I didn't have YouTuber on my wish list to be. I don't love like I'm not a limelight guy. I like being behind the scenes, so it's definitely been a new door to see, and it comes with everything. It comes with struggles and pros and cons, but it's definitely been interesting to see. I never thought I'd be taking pictures with people or signing autographs. I'm like, you don't want my autograph. I'm some random Joe on YouTube.
Dude, I shot a 96 yesterday, bro.
Yeah, it's been cool. Like, I think our main focus on this channel though has been to grow the game of golf. We both wish we would have picked up golf when we were 4, 5, 6 years old. So to be able to help grow the game of golf has been a really cool opportunity. And we take that to heart because we want everybody to be able to pick it up one day. And we can attest to, you don't have to be great to start, but you just got to get out there and keep trying. So that's kind of been our main focus, but it's been a cool ride to see.
Yeah, it's a great game. Like you never know who you're gonna meet. Like I've been playing golf since I was 6. I played to a +1, so I am
Jeez,
decently
you're
good at
sick.
golf. But like if you would have told me, like I said, a year and a half ago when I was like this, I've thought about doing my own thing for a while. I didn't really know what I wanted to do on YouTube. I know I wanted to do it, but if you would have told me, said a year and a half ago, I'd be having conversations with you guys, whoever it is. It's like you never know where the game of golf can take you, or like who you're gonna meet on the golf course, and that's one thing I think is super cool about it. Because like you said, you don't have to be great at it, but you never know. You might meet an executive or something when you get paired up with and get you a job. Like you never know. That's why I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. What has been some of the favorite content that y'all have filmed? And we could do like kind of one person answers and another person answers. But I'm curious as to, I always ask that question to people. Maybe it's some of the underappreciated content, but what's been some of the favorite content y'all have filmed over the last 2.5 years?
We probably have one of the same answers, so I'll let him talk about this other one. But this one that we hasn't been released yet. It'll be coming out, I guess, next week or so. It's a different style of video. I mean, I guess we can say about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's called Guess the Pro, where we did like an undercover pro golfer, and they all had. So we actually, Connor and I did not play any golf in this whole video. So it's actually the first time where we're not playing golf. But I enjoyed being more of like a host commentator and hosting the channel. We had 3 awesome judges: Big Dolls TV, Snappy Gilmore, and Sedona.
Nice.
So it was just a really cool video that we got inspiration from Jester doing this with Giannis in the NBA Challenge. So that's a really cool video that I'm really excited to post. I might not do amazing, but I really enjoyed making the video and ideating behind it. And another one was the mic one that I was talking about.
Yeah. And to the video he's talking about, we got like the first edit back last night, and me and Adam were like texting, like, dude, this is so fun. Like, I know both of us were excited to see that first edit. So that one was awesome for sure. That's probably my most recent favorite. Yeah, but the one he's talking about, we did the video where we took someone on a dream golf trip.
Yeah.
And that one was fun. It was fun because we got to do some non-course stuff too, which is really cool to get to kind of build that storyline up to make it more of like a cohesive video as opposed to just on course T1 getting it going,
I'm gonna give a background of like where we went for those who are listening.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the video, so we went out on the course. We found a golfer. We asked him, what he was doing this weekend, and he's like, "I'm just kind of hanging around, man." And I was like, "You got a sick mullet. You want to go on a golf trip?" And he was like, I mean, sure, man, for real. And we're like, yeah. So we packed him up. And my baby,
It
River,
was a newborn.
my newborn was 5 weeks old, if that. So we're like, cool, man, hop in the back. And he hops in the back of our car with like me, or he rode with my wife and then him and my newborn baby. In the back. Yeah, and the videographer was up front. And yeah, so we got to just drive down to Purcell Farms to, where if you've seen some
Shout
of
out
the
Marty.
OG,
Shout out Marty P.
shout out Martin. That's like kind of where YouTube golf started,
Man.
So
The good days back in the day.
absolutely. So, we went down there, Marty hooked it up, and we got to show Micah around which Micah's the guy that we found. Got to show him around the facility, give him like kind of the royal treatment, go through some axes, and Martin kind of chauffeured us around, and then we played. We probably played 36 or more holes throughout the weekend, but we filmed 9 of them with Micah. But yeah, that was just so fun to have like a full cohesive experience for one of the videos. Like anything that we're able to kind of be a little adventurous with it, I think we both love it.
We love giving other people experiences or giving other people free stuff that you wouldn't normally get, and giving a free driver. Like we gave Mike two full waggle outfits, a new putter, shoe. Like he got a whole experience. I think that's how you can grow the game of golf too. And I think that's something that we really, are passionate about. So that was a great video. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What's been the craziest reaction or interaction you've had when and it couldn't maybe be off camera, but like that you've had walking up to somebody or like challenging somebody to do something?
I think the one that probably stands out the most was someone that wanted. It happens sometimes that wanted to be in the video, filmed the video for a TikTok, and then he didn't perform very well, and then asked us to not post the video.
Yeah.
So that's only happened once ever. Honestly,
Okay.
I think 90% of the times we ask people, they say yes. And like these are genuine, random people we don't know. We just randomly walk up to them, ask them if they want to be on camera. Yeah, majority of the time it is a yes.
Yeah, if you look on our TikTok, I think we've got like 60 to 70 in our folder of people we've done the driver challenge with. So it's got to be up in the 80s that we've filmed or more, maybe even close to 100. And I think we've had like 4 no's.
And
ever?
I think 3 of the 4 no's always comes when I ask. So I let Connor ask. I have for some reason, I don't know, it's like I just give off bad juju or something, or I pick the wrong people. So I just let Connor ask because I don't think he's ever gotten rejected. But I think I've gotten all 4 rejections.
Cool. Well, fellas, a couple more
trying to
questions
think.
for you, and then I will let you go. If you feel like it, I always ask this. If you want to tease any, we're coming up. I guess summer here is more golfing in like the Midwest, but like if you feel like teasing any content, maybe have coming down the pipe. I know you just mentioned something that's being released next week, but if you feel like teasing any more content coming down the pipe, more than happy to do so. And then I got a couple rapid fires, and then I will let you guys go for the day. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on today.
Yeah,
we're about to film something with a PGA Tour player.
Yeah, we are. I think there's 2 things. There's the PGA Tour player we're actually filming with on Monday. He's actually one of the OG YouTube golfers. So
yeah,
it's a cool story. We're excited to see. Most people won't know about it, but he's the YouTube golf bro.
Yeah,
so,
he's got like 12 or 13 million views on one of his YouTube videos from back in the day. So
it's gonna be a fun time. That's that, and then we're relaunching. For those who don't know, like we started as a podcast, but now we've rebranded the podcast, and it's now called the Average Golf Club, and that's gonna be a main focus for us too. Is we also have a podcast. So this is exactly where we are right now. Is in our podcast studio. For now, we have a whole new indoor golf simulator that we're being built right now that'll turn into our podcast studio. So there'll be a lot more simulator golf when it's cold or it's rainy, and it's also be built into our podcast studio. So we actually do some random call your carries from people that live in the neighborhood too inside the golf simulator. So some really cool ideas. We'll do more fun stuff, but yeah, we're excited.
Also, kind of we talked about the whole branding thing. We'll have some more. I'm trying to think of some Divot Dudes type releases coming out
merchandise
soon. Merchandise where we're kind of starting to develop that brand a little bit more. So kind of that's some exciting stuff that'll be coming out here in the next few weeks.
And I apologize for not doing this. It's like I said, I'm rusty. I've had a very busy month, but it's been a couple. I haven't done as much recording, but we'll link all the Divot Dudes stuff in the description, guys. Make sure you drop them a sub. We'll link their socials, drop them a follow. We'll also link the podcast channel, which I know you guys have. I have tuned into a few of those. We'll link all that in the description. Follow them. We appreciate them for coming on. So
And
I
also,
usually do that. I usually do that earlier in the video, fellas. I apologize.
yeah,
for
that's
that,
all
but
good.
Thank you
Also,
for the
make sure
reminder.
you're subscribing to Marco right now. Make sure you hit the
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
subscribe
Thank you,
button,
fellas.
turn those noties
Subscribe.
on.
That's right.
Let's get it. What's our goal for 2025? 10K?
Dude, I was trying to get 1,000 by the Masters. I'm at over 2,000. So my goal is I would like to get 10,000 by the end of the year. It
Heck
seems
yeah,
lofty,
dude.
but
It's doable.
let's shoot for it. 10,000 by the end of 2025.
Love it.
But
Yeah, let's get him 10K. So
let's
we'll make
go.
sure we
Let's
share
go.
it and
I
hit
appreciate
the red
that,
button.
fellas. Thank you. Rapid fires, and I will let you go. I always start with, and you guys can do one word answers, short, long. I don't really care. These are just I always like to ask some golf related questions. But favorite golfer?
Minwoo.
Nice.
Freddie Couples
Nice. Favorite golf course
that
that
we've
you've ever played? That
we've
you've played, yes.
Probably Trump LA.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Trump or Black Desert.
Yeah, Black Desert's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most prestigious golf course you've ever played?
Well, it's public, but PGA National. But
We honestly haven't played any of the iconic courses.
yeah, we really
Okay.
haven't.
So
When we did the bear with Grant, I mean that's probably prestige
yeah,
wise
the Bear Trap.
because he's got the bear trap.
It's honestly when we played in the
Okay.
Pro-Am, that had to be PGA National. It's honestly we haven't played a lot of historic courses.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like our content isn't necessarily like showing off these
Right,
courses
right,
now,
right.
you know. So it's kind of whatever serves.
And we haven't been playing for too long.
And we
It's
just
been
got into
4
it, you know?
years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Favorite creator? Doesn't have to be
Ooh.
golf related. Could be any creator.
That's a good question. Trying to think of who I think about right now when I open my YouTube.
I'll say for me right now, it's more of a not my all time favorite, but I'm on a heater right now at the Outdoor Boys channel
Yeah,
YouTube.
Okay.
I am a huge Outdoor Boys. That or Colin and Samir. I love Colin and Samir.
I do
Yeah.
like Colin Samir. They're great. I love
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Actually,
So do podcasts? Can it be?
yeah,
any-
absolutely. Anyone.
I'm listening to either there's one called My First Million. I don't know if you've seen that podcast. That's a great podcast. I listen to that a lot. Or the All In podcast. Probably one of those two guys.
We're
Okay.
big podcast guys. We like to
Yeah.
listen to like financial
Nice.
podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
So we love
Nice.
that stuff.
All right, last one, and this is always my favorite. You get one mulligan. You can use it on camera. One mulligan for a video. It can be on your channel, can be on anyone's channel or any video you've been in. Where are you using it and why?
Like to redo a video we've done.
No, like redo a shot in a video,
Redo a
or
shot
like
in a
redo
video.
like you could even do like for you guys instance, it could be like a even like give someone another mulligan to like break a challenge, like a drive
That's our
challenge or call
issues
your
that
number challenges.
we hit so many hosels. Like there's too many things. Like
Yeah.
it would be in too many videos. I think when we played with Grant and the Bear Trap on 17, was that the par 3? Which one's the par 3? I hoselled
Yeah.
into the water on the Bear Trap. I really wanted to hit that green. So that would probably be my one mulligan I would take back.
I was thinking my last shot on that video with Grant, but then you made the crazy long putt to win the match, so it didn't matter. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of one where my shot might have mattered a little bit more, but maybe my shots don't matter that much.
I don't know.
I would like
That's
to.
tough.
I would like to mulligan my entire round
Yeah.
from when we played at Black Desert.
That's tough for us because we're not the best golfers. So there's so
Yeah.
many shots, and they're like, shoot, we just stink. So
Yeah, you hit one bad one and it starts going downhill quick.
Fair enough. Well, Adam, Connor, thank you guys so much for coming on. Before I let you go, any sign off messages, feel free to plug whatever you want. I don't really have a ton of sponsorships here yet, working on it, but feel free to plug whatever you want, and then I will let you guys go. Thank you so much again for coming on today. Really, really appreciate this, fellas.
Absolutely. You guys subscribe, Scratch Golf Club right here. It's the spot.
yeah, just give Marco a follow on all the platforms. Don't worry about
Appreciate
us.
you
Get
guys.
everything him. We gotta get him up. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So let's get his following count up, and hopefully we can get back on here maybe next year later
Heck
on
yeah.
and do another recap. Would be
Yeah,
awesome.
Open
Thanks for
invite
having us.
whenever you guys want to come on. We really appreciate it, guys. That's the Divot Dudes. Like you said, hit the subscribe button. Link everything in the description. Peace.